let me run through a couple examples of logarithm problems using the properties of logarithms for you. So one kind of problem, basically you have two kinds of problems. One is going to be these expand problems, and one is going to be condensing things into a single logarithmic expression. So on this one, it says expand each logarithm. So all these are going to start with a single log, and you're going to use those properties that we talked about in the other video to break this apart into sums and differences and things like that. So what we do is we first look at what we have. We have the log of 6 times 11. Okay, so we're talking about a product, so we're going to use that product property that we talked about. And so what that means is that I can take this 6, give it its own log, and I'm going to add the log of 11. And so that's basically it for this one. Log of 6 plus log of 11 is the same thing as that. So that one's done. Easy. Okay, let's look at a quotient one. Okay, so here we go. Let's slide down to number 5. So number 5, I've got the log of 2 to the 4th over 5. Okay, and I want to expand this thing out into multiple logarithms. The reason we want to do that is eventually it's going to help us solve equations, right? All right, so maybe it's helpful. I don't know if it's helpful. You can put some parentheses around that to help you kind of see what's going on. But we have a log of a quotient, okay? And we talked about, remember, quotients or subtraction because that's how exponents work in a fraction, right? You have to subtract the exponents. So what we have is we can rewrite this as log of 2 to the 4th minus log 5 on the bottom. So the log of the top minus the log of the bottom. And now in this one, we've split the quotient up into a subtraction, but we can do one more thing. We can actually apply a second logarithm property here. I can also put the power property to work here as well. I have this 2 to the 4th, right? And so we also talked about any exponents can plop down right in front of the logarithm, okay? So to finalize this one, we're going to put the 4 in front of log 2, then we're going to write minus log 5. And so that is your expanded form of that one. Okay, so that's expanding. Next thing we can do is do a couple where you have to condense them down to a single expression. Okay, so let me just flip the page here. Okay, so these questions are going to actually do condense. So condense into a single logarithm. Okay, let's just take a look at this first one right under the instructions here. So we get log of 3 minus log of 8. Okay, and so in your mind, you're linking subtraction and quotients together, and you're linking products and addition together. Okay, so when you see the subtraction, you know that we're going to switch it into a quotient problem. So condensing, we're just going to write a single logarithm. So we just write log once. Don't ever write more than one. Okay, and then we can open up some parentheses, and we know that this first term goes in the top, and the second term goes on the bottom like that. And so that's the condensed version of this. Log of 3 minus log of 8. You can condense it down to a single logarithm of 3/8. Okay? And let's take a look at one more. Let's look at this one right below. It looks pretty good. Let's do 15. So this one I got 4 log of 3 minus 4 log 8. Okay, and so now we have these numbers in front of the logs. Right? I got this little 4 sitting in front and this little 4 sitting in front. And so that lets you know that these guys can pop up. Right? We're working backwards now. These can pop up and become exponents. So this can become log of 3 to the 4th minus log of 8 to the 4th. Okay, so I can pop that 4 up into the exponent. Now I see the subtraction, and we know it's a quotient when we see this. So now I can condense it down to a single logarithm of 3 to the 4th over 8 to the 4th.